Hi, I just wanted to quickly show off a mod that I did for this Grundig Ocean Boy 209 radio, which basically rescued it, and it's really, really easy to do, where you modify it to run off of USB power, and therefore a USB battery pack. I got this thing from an auction at the Musee Des Ondes in Montreal. They've told me that they're planning to do some more. So if you're in the Montreal area, look that up. You might find something great like this. I got this for 25 bucks, which is amazing. The thing is, when I got it, I was able to test that it was working, but here's the battery pack. And if you look inside, it's pretty gross in there. That's not very nice. And you can actually read this note. It says, "Mais ne fonctionne pas." Here's the terminals for the battery. You can see they're very, very corroded. So this is no good. I could probably have cleaned those up, but the fact is that this whole thing actually left a lot of rust in the bottom of the radio right about here, which has actually damaged the case slightly. So you can't really tell that from the outside, but if you look inside, it's pretty gross. So this is not going inside. This is not going inside anything anymore. So what I thought was, okay, yes, I could check that it worked because I just hooked up a 9-volt power supply to some leads and that made sure that it worked. The built-in ports are, there's a proprietary 9-volt, but if you use that, of course, you're stuck, wherever it is. It's supposed to be a portable radio. That's no good. And if you... there's also an AC adapter, but that's, again, a proprietary thing. That doesn't really work. This has a USB-C port because it runs on 9-volt, and if you know your USB, you'll know that USB PD, power delivery, has a 9-volt mode. So, what do we got here? I got a battery pack, and I got a USB-C cable. So, I only really needed 2 major components for this, other than the cables. One of them is this here, the Adafruit HUSB 238. And that is a USB PD sync. So what you have to do with this, and sorry, I should mention, no permanent modification is required. I can put this back the way it was, and you'd never know I made any changes to it. So this is really about as good as it gets. So all I had to do was sever this 5-volt line, just take a knife and cut that, and then solder the 9-volt signaler. They also do one with a switch box, but I don't see any point in that for this application because you only want 9-volt. And other than that, you just solder these terminals in so that you can screw them to the power line. And then for a power supply, I got here the iCan R27. This is from Canada Computers. Now, it's not the best, but it has 2 very important features. One of them is that, as you can see, it exactly fits in the space. So if you got one of these and you want to do this, whichever one you get has to fit in here, preferably snugly. The other thing is this has 2 USB-C ports, and it can charge or output power from either one. And the reason that's important is that, of course, I've got one which is for charging the battery and another one that is for discharging the battery. So if you want this nice sleek package where everything's self-contained and it just looks like a regular Ocean Boy, well then you're going to need that, and that's a little bit rare. And in fact, the silly thing is, this could have run on any USB power supply that does USB PD. This one is actually 65 watt. You can see it says 65 watt. Which is completely unnecessary. I got it to charge my tablet, my laptop 2-in-1. But hey, it fits and it runs for ages because the most you're ever going to draw from this thing without distorting is 2 watts. I did some testing and like I could get it to do 0.3 amps at 9 volts. But it sounded horrible and it was extremely loud. You'd never listen to it like that. It doesn't even register on this meter under normal usage. So the only, sorry, I'll finish describing how I did this. The HUSB thing is just in here. I just put some double-sided tape and it's just stuck there. Actually, it looks like it's fallen down, so that's good to know, but it's not a big deal. This is wood, so of course stuff doesn't like to stick to it. And then this just friction fits in here, which is nice. If you're using a different one, that might not be an option. You might need to like 3D print something or make it out of wood or whatever. But all I did was plug the cable out into the HUSB thing, and that's it. And then I ran this female lead down here so that you just need to open the back to charge it. Unfortunately, there are two drawbacks to this. So the first one is that I need to press the power button on the battery, because after a while the USB PD sync will say I'm not drawing any power, so I'm not going to waste this battery. So it will turn the battery off. And once you do that, you got to open up the back and turn it on again. If you want to start dismantling the battery pack, you can solve that problem. For example, you could wire something up so that whenever you press the power button, it also contacts the switch. You'd use a transistor or something, or an opto isolator, who knows. That would be one option. For me, it's all right. I got to open up the back. And, if you turn it on and off again, that's fine. It'll work. So I'll just demonstrate that this does in fact work. Put it on preset 6. And I've turned it on. And I can't really play any of that, but even though I'm in the basement, it works very well. Yeah, that's the problem with trying to do the radio on YouTube. But you can also see that okay. I can't turn that on. It lights up and everything. The only problem, there's two drawbacks. The second one is that the power button for the battery, to show you, here, I'll just put it on no station. Wow, that AFC is, oh, that's why. Okay. So this is supposed to be a battery meter. That isn't going to work because the battery is providing a stable 9 volts. So I don't know of any reasonable solution to that problem. Just the battery meter doesn't work. Oh well. But anyway, you can see that's a really nice setup, and I'm very happy that this thing works. I don't actually listen to the radio, which is kind of a problem, but I'm kind of working on that. I'm going to kind of put together my own little radio station for myself. Yeah, so I hope that's useful to somebody, and that maybe you can rescue, yours, which you can't really connect to a battery anymore, just by making that really, really simple conversion. I guess, I should also show you, I took this off the wires. There's a yellow wire that's for charging. I just put some shrink tube on that. The two other wires, the black and red, those are obviously your positive and negative, and I just desoldered them from this. And then you have to remove this little white piece, which provides strain relief, and then you can just disconnect them all. And then I just keep these in a bag to stop them getting anything else rusty. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you found that modification interesting, and you have a fine day.